Hello everyone. Today I have decided to do a different kind of video. Here are 10 Digimon that I feel personally need more love for one reason or another. Now, very importantly, this is my own personal opinion, not saying this as fact, and they're not particularly in any specific order, just the order that I think fits the video the best. Now, without further ado, stop me if you've heard this one before. Obviously, Betamon had to be first. He is my boy. I hear you, though. Alyss, he's in almost every game, has a bunch of evolutions. Yes, but he's often in these games as just kind of a lower-end Digimon, easy encounter early in dungeons, and some games don't even let him keep the Seedramon Digivolution line, let alone, like, the Airdramon line. I won't spend too much time here because Digimon makes many appearances. I just want him to be less cannon fodder or filler enemy. Just, make it more feasible to bring him as like a primary Digimon partner and not just a Digimon you can get your hands on. On the other hand of things, we all know about Patamon, the flying hot dog that evolves into Angemon, and even further into Serafimon, the second most bodied Digimon, only holding silver medal to Leomon. But much like each of the Holy Digimon has a demonic counterpart, the counterpoint to Patamon. It isn't Demi-Devimon like you might think, but instead Tsukeimon, a virus-type dark Digimon that looks like a purple version of Patamon. Commonly, Tsukeimon has appeared as a random enemy to encounter, not really much else. It appears in Digimon Adventure 2020 as Devimon's rookie for just like a brief scene, and in Ghost Game it appears as a background character. Tsukeimon is obtainable in Digimon World 2 and in the Digimon World Digital Card Arena game, then also in Digimon Championship, but otherwise appears just as enemies, collectibles, just not at all. Tsukeimon has been on multiple cards in the TCG, thankfully, so it at least has some representation and hasn't been forgotten. I think as long as Patamon is at the forefront of media in any form, though, Tsukeimon is gonna constantly be condemned to the back line. So, my first ever encounter with Noble Pumpkinmon was actually on the Dynasty of Evil dim card from the Digimon Vital Bracelet, and I kind of immediately fell in love with the design. It's designed in all the ways that, like, teenage Alyss would have loved if she saw him on sight. The dark blue wings, the absolutely sharp white suit, the top hat with goggles, every bit of this design is something I'd have enjoyed very much as a teenager. Just why I'm so upset to report that Noble Pumpkinmon only appears in Digimon Re-Arise and on several V-Pets. Noble Pumpkinmon is a data-type Digimon that comes from Pumpkinmon, which, talk about a glow-up. I don't have a lot to say about him, unfortunately, but I'd love to see him in Time Stranger and see him be one of those unexpected megas that you just want to really have with you. Alright, so there's a few cheating mons on this list, and Jellymon is the first of them. Jellymon is a relatively new Digimon, only really appearing around 2021 with Ghost Game and Digimon Project 2021. Because of this, Jellymon only really appeared in V-Pets and the above-mentioned media, as well as Digimon Recollection. I'd love to see more Jellymon appearances, just this lovable little scamp, causing trouble, playing pranks, and just being an all-around menace. And if you don't think Jellymon deserves more love, you and I might not get along all that well, just saying. Don't expect Jellymon to be the last of the cheating mons, as, like I said, there are a few. I do want to just mention, like, Jellymon has appeared on a few cards, a few really good cards, but I want to see Jellymon in some games. I think it'd be a lot of fun to have Jellymon as a partner that you can bring around. So here's hoping that Jellymon gets a little bit more love. Now, Gigadramon appears fairly often. Most of the V-Pets, the card game, many video games, often used in the anime, so do I mean Gigadramon needs more love? Well, there are only about 6 appearances in the games that you can actually obtain Gigadramon of the 10 listed games. One of those collectible appearances is in the Digimon World Digital Card Arena game, so I mean, kind of a half point there. Gigadramon is often used as antagonists, and not even too particularly memorable one. They're more like ultimate stage cannon fodder that the protagonists just need to remove. I want to see Gigadramon more obtainable, especially with being given the Three Musketeers faction in the newest card game. There could be a lot of cool things done with Gigadramon using that in mind, and I'm gonna be clear, a lot of this could also be said about Megadramon, but I just kind of think Gigadramon looks cooler, so I chose Gigadramon. Alright, you guys ready for me to talk about another cheating mon? We're going to talk about Strabamon, or Strabamon? Strabamon? I don't really know how to pronounce it specifically, but it's the next of our kind of cheat mentions on this list, and I don't just mean Strabamon. This is why I say it's a bit of a cheat one, but what Strabamon represents. See, those who have been on the channel for a while know that I have an unfavorable relationship with Digimon Frontier. In fact, I even recently did a full manga review of Digimon Frontier, and I actively tried to give it the benefit of the doubt. Go check it out after this video. So, what do I mean by what Strabamon represents? Well, Strabamon is kind of an equivalent to Flamemon, where it's the rookie of Lobomon, but Strabamon didn't even appear in Frontier. Its only anime appearance was in Digimon Adventure 2020, and any Digimon game it's been in, it's just been a collectible. I think the Holy Spirits from Frontier could all benefit from a bit of a lore lift, giving them full evolutionary lines and making them feel less like disjointed Sentai clones than they were in their original series. I'd love to see them all get this kind of a treatment, and I didn't choose Flamemon because Flamemon is utilized more. There are more appearances of Flamemon. I want to see more of what Strabamon could offer. This is going to be one of the shortest ones in the list. Harrismon is interesting to me. I didn't remember Harrismon all that much, but quite a few members of the community have for Bandai to include Harrismon, so I looked into him a little bit, and I gotta say I love him. He's adorable, has a lot of potential, and just feels like a silly little guy. I think Harrismon deserves more love and maybe a little bit more attention. He's only really appeared in one game, and he was in Ghost Game. Bandai, give Harrismon some more love. This one goes out to you, crazy conspiracy theorists. Now, the birds aren't... Wait. Hold on, call from my lawyers. Yep. Well, no, Oh, big lawsuit, huh? I don't... Alright. Don't have to yell. I just... Alright. I'll make the statement. I was told by my lawyers to say, and I quote, birds are real and not drone replacements made by the government to spy on us. Anyway, Jazzamon is an adorable drone shaped like a bird with a camera in its mouth. It almost never appears in things, and my only real interaction with Jazzamon has been in the card game, but I'm easily pleased with how adorable Jazzamon is. Now, let's move on to the next Digimon while I send the section to my lawyers for review, and hopefully they're okay with this. Alright, this is the last cheating Mon on this list, I promise. Do you hate me for it yet? No? Alright, good. Systemon Noir technically does not exist in America. Now, obviously, quite a few of us know who she is, and some of us even have her Japanese card for those of us who have either purposely or accidentally bought a Japanese booster box or two. Now, in America, we actually got Systemon CL as a replacement. From how I understand it, the story goes that Systemon Noir was designed too closely to actual factual Catholic nuns, and rather than deal with the controversy of a Catholic gun nun, we got a nun with a blue mouse headgear and a giant sword to pair with the pink bunny nun with the scary trident. Don't read into that too much. Anyway, I mostly just want to see Systemon Noir come to America so we can have the trio of Systemon. Since Noir and CL wield different weapons and have slightly different designs, it isn't even really a big deal, I think, to have them be a trio. So, give us our actual factual gun nun. Come on, Bandai. Alright. I love X-Tyrannomon. Van and I have talked multiple times about how X-Tyrannomon needs more love, and honestly, it's kind of why I made this list. Before anyone comments on this design, by the way, X-Tyrannomon really predates Mimikyu by 16 to 18 years. X-Tyrannomon is referenced in media from well before it, but so Digimon World 2 lets you actually have an X-Tyrannomon, and that game was released in 2000. It also appeared as a building in Toy Town in the original Digimon World, as well as a couple of other appearances. X-Tyrannomon is legitimately something living inside of a Tyrannomon plushie, and it has extremely high defensive and offensive capabilities. If you want to learn more about it, there is a Digimonday video, but, you know, it's been in a ton of the V-Pets and has made appearance in some fashion in many of the games, but almost nobody talks about this adorable plush toy, and I have seen people who love Mimikyu that don't even know about this thing. So, like, spread the word about X-Tyrannomon, get more people loving it. I want my X-Tyrannomon plushie, Bandai. Give. Anyway, that's my list, you know? Do you agree? Think I pulled too many cheat options out of this list? Let me know down in the comments below. If you're new here, why not subscribe? You can also like the video if you enjoyed, and feel free to come into stream, hang out and chat. I'm live all but Monday and Wednesday, and enjoy joking with the community over on the Discord, which you can find in the link in the description below. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.